every time she went down the hit the deal, her underwear came out. As a legend killer, ain't killed me yet. He helped everybody. Did he help himself? Hell yeah, because he had more personality in his pinky than 90% of the boys did.
Bro, you don't have a heated exchange with Vince McMahon without consequences. Bro, you know why, and Paige knows why, but Paige might not say it, but I'll say it. Because they're gonna F with him, bro. So if you're on that roster, you deserved a spot to be on that roster.
Getting that level don't make you the guy. Staying there does.
He's got an arrogance. He's got a cockiness. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He looks great. He hasn't drawn Vince money. I mean, that's the bottom line. At the end of the day, you know, bro, you've got to have some stroke in order to speak up with Vince, and that stroke is, did you draw Vince money?
If you're going to talk about drawing money, he's the one who really turned that company around. Joe.
All right. Let's start with the bro my God moment of the week. So WWE Hall of Famer Lita, she made a return on SmackDown. Of course, we know that she's going to be a part of the Royal Rumble coming up next weekend, a week from Saturday, I believe it is. So, Paige, let's get into this. Let me ask you first. The two-parter. All right. One, should she win the Royal Rumble match? And two, kind of give us the breakdown of fourth wall. Kind of give us the inside view on the surprise entrant, because you once were a surprise entrant.
First of all, I have to say, Lita looked gorgeous. I mean, she's a beautiful woman to begin with, but she looked amazing, and she'll be ready to go. Do I think she should win? Hell no. No. This is a time you come out there, you shine, and then you put the people over who are there to carry the mantle. That's the way I look at it anyway. Like when I came in on Rumble, I got to hit a couple diamond cutters, and then I went out. And I'll never forget, because it was me and Bubba and Boogie Man were there, in our trailer, the big bus that they give you, and me and Bob, we've been buddies forever. We're both worked on the Jersey Shore together in the bar business, not at the same time, but we know all the same people, and so when he said, I'm going to drop Cody, and then I'm going to drop Fandango, and then Bray Wyatt, and then he goes, and then PSA goes, and then when me and Bubba both looked at each other, we go, here comes Orton. No Orton, they go, and then now Mero comes out, and they're gone, and we both looked at each other like, really? Because the legend killer, one of the greatest ever of all time, as far as I'm concerned, Randy Orton, as a legend killer, ain't killed me yet. And I thought that night was the night. I thought that night, RKO, pick him up and throw him out. And it didn't happen. I was like, wow. So inside through it, like, Lita knows the deal. Like, get out there, get over. You're with a woman who, you're out there sharing the ring, and she's got her 6-inch heels on, or whatever they are. So it was like Andre the Giant out there next to Lita. But she did her job. She put Lita over strong. And it'll be time for Lita, if not her, someone else. But you look at a woman like Charlotte Flair. I mean, that girl gets over anywhere, anytime, any millennium, never mind decade. She will always be, no matter what, you could pop her in anywhere, and she's and she did her job.
She did. Vince, where do we go from here with Lita? Does she win the Royal Rumble? And even if she doesn't, in your opinion, does this end up going further past the Royal Rumble? Do we get some type of WrestleMania angle going on with Lita's return? Or is this just a one-off?
You know, I wouldn't mind seeing that, Chris, because we never see that. You know, like, you know, every time with the Royal Rumble, it's, 99.9% of the time it's a one-off. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing is, bro, it seems from year to year to year, they need to add more and more and more legends. And that kind of means, bro, you guys kind of aren't getting enough new people over.
You're not making new ones.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you're adding more and more people, you're going to get to the point where it's going to have to go beyond the Rumble, and then you're going to have to get into angles. And, yeah, bro, I would love to see her get into an angle with Charlotte or something, like Paige says. She still looks great as long as she can carry it from a physical standpoint. I think it would be great.
I agree. I think it shouldn't be a one-off. Go ahead, Paige.
In here, to hear Lita's real life story of how she got into professional wrestling, I was like, I've had a couple, table autograph signings with her, and the first one, man, we got, I wanted to hear her whole story, and it was amazing how she, was enthralled by, Rey Mysterio, and went to Mexico. This little red-haired white girl, goes to Mexico knowing no one, and that's how she gets her, comes up in the business. Like, unbelievable, just to go to Mexico by yourself as a woman, and she just, she is her own animal, man. She's a Hall of Famer. She's a superstar, and I would love to see her stick around for a little bit, but does she really have to? Not really, but with just maybe.
I think it'll be helpful to really, echoing what Vince was saying. I think it'll be helpful to build new stars and having some of these legends stay around for a little bit, at least for WrestleMania season, because, I think there is a deficit of developing new stars, new legendary figures. I think Charlotte will get that rub. I think Charlotte's kind of transitioning from, just regular star to that legend status. But at the same time, we definitely need some more people being developed. Otherwise, we'll have like 25 out of 30 of them, from the well again. You know what I mean? So we definitely don't want that. Vince, you had something to do with her coming in with S.A. Rios, didn't you? Weren't you around at that time?
Well, Lita?
Yeah.
No, bro, I actually never worked with her, bro. I never worked with her.
That was like 2000. Yeah, you were right. It was right, like probably a year or two after you left. I think it was like 2000 when she came in. Yeah. Paige?
It's funny because I will never forget that Kimberly was reffing a match, and Vince, I don't know if you remember this or not, but every time she went down hit the deal, her underwear came out. She was so embarrassed for the thong coming out. She was the first to ever do it. But Lita, I don't know if she ever saw that. Lita got it over.
Yeah, she made a gimmick.
I'll never know how her skin was. And then I see Lita, I'm like, man, she wore that strong.
So let's go broing down memory lane a bit. All right. So based on the stars of today, we talked about some Monday Night Wars here already. We'll start with you, Vince. What stars of today do you think would have thrived during the Monday Night Wars? And that was from 1995 to 2001. And that 6-year period from 95 to 01. What current superstars do you think would have thrived back then?
Oh man, bro, there are so many. I mean, when I watch Raw, like that's the thing, bro. There are so many people I wish I would have had the opportunity to work with. I mean, first and foremost, a guy like Bray Wyatt. I mean, my gosh, the stuff. I mean, if you still had a Paul Bearer around and a Taker and a Kane, and you put him in that mix, I mean, just great things. But bro, there are just so many guys. Listen, bro, this is what I've always believed. Like, if you are on the WWE roster, there are only a few spots, bro, and it's the greatest wrestling organization in the world. So if you're on that roster, you deserved a spot to be on that roster. So when I look at people, like, Charlotte Flair and the Randy Ortons and people, bro, even a guy that's never used, a guy like Elias, once you get there, bro, that means you deserve the spot. So many of those people I wish I could have worked with Jordan Attitude over. Bro, I'm confident we would have got them all over. I really am.
Yeah. Including Veer.
Including Veer, bro. He's going to get over with this big win at the Royal Rumble, bro.
Yes.
Big
win at the Royal Rumble. Managed by Vince Russo and Saudi. He's going to have this big moment there,
But I even look at a guy like Braun Strowman. I mean, bro, there's no way he wouldn't have gotten over.
Sure.
Absolutely no way he wouldn't have gotten over.
Yeah. Thanks. What do you think? Who would have gotten over in Minor Wars?
I agree with everything Vince just said there. The guys who I would love to have seen, not the younger version, the one he is today, my boy McIntyre, he fits like right into
Absolutely.
that.
I agree.
At any decades, kind of like, Charlotte Flair could fit in. You just pop Orton in anywhere, and it wouldn't matter whose generation it was. And I think Edge, and of course Brock. I mean, Brock again, whatever you want. Edge too, though. Edge. It's just incredible the whole run that he has, and then got to come back and do it again because it was cut way too short. And I love him, and I'm proud to be like the first top guy, even though I wasn't seeing that spot in WWE, I still is a Hall of Famer to be able to put Edge over in the middle, and it was an honor, because loved that kid and knew he was going to be big money, but he could anywhere and get over.
For sure. Yeah, I like the Drew McIntyre call there. I think that's a good call, Paige. I definitely think Drew would have been way over in the Attitude Era. Yeah, I think that's kind of where it reaches the limit to me. As far as just nowadays, definitely Drew. I think Reigns would have gotten over. Yeah, I think Reigns. Yeah.
That's just, the stone cold obvious as well.
Mm-hmm.
Reigns would have got.
Reigns would have got over then. Yeah. You know what? I think as far as like a dark horse person that would have gotten over. I think you throw in. You said Edge. I mean, Edge. He was there. I think he started in '98, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm kind of going down the line, AJ in the Attitude Era. AJ, I think AJ, like TNA, I think that was perfect for AJ during that time. I think TNA really helped AJ kind of hone in his character. He even said in interviews, like it helped him with his promo and things like that to really, because he was talking about before when he started with his promos, he sounded very like Southern, you know what I mean? And then as he continued to grow and get confidence in his promos, he started to get better. And now his promo's fine. So I think probably not necessarily AJ, although I think his journey to where he is as a shoe-in Hall of Famer was perfect. I think it was very necessary. Here's a name for y'all. What do y'all think about Seth Rollins? Do you think Seth Rollins would have gotten over or no?
Seth. If the question is, if I was writing for Seth Rollins during Monday Night Raws, would he have gotten over? Yes, because you know why, bro? He would have had one character, he would have had one name, he would have had one moniker, and we would have stuck with it.
Not 15.
My problem with Seth is, bro, every 6 months it's a name change. Yeah. And it's very, very confusing to the fan. Bro, Stone Cold, that's it. Stone Cold. The Rock, that's it. Heartbreak Kid, that's it.
Yeah.
DDP, that's it.
Yeah.
So do I think he would have got over? Yes, but I think there would have been much more concentration on one character, bro, not 10.
I agree. Paige, what do you think? Seth Rollins and the Attitude Era.
Because it's like anything in everybody's career, it does this, you know? And if they would have kept him, Seth Rollins, so money, he could have gone in anywhere and done it because he had that, he was being the jacked up version of himself. Mm-hmm. And putting him in different characters. And yeah, I didn't understand it. You know, again, not my call. I mean, Seth Rollins, the way he was money, kind of like Finn. You know, Finn is a hell of a hand, and you know he can work under any level. Doesn't matter his size. He's tall and bulletproof. You know, and
what are your thoughts on the rumors of Vince McMahon kind of checking out on Finn?
Again, it's ups and downs. You know, your career is cyclical. As long as you stay true to yourself and keep moving forward, that's when you can, you know. And sometimes when they want you to do things, and I was a perfect example of that. That was not, the stalker was not Diamond Dallas Page. And if I go back and do it again, I'd change it, you know. But, you know, what did I learn from it? And what I learned from it is never be afraid to get up and walk away from the table. It's why my business is so successful, because there's plenty of times I went, nah, it doesn't really work for me. You know?
Yeah. And you said before, as far as like the importance of speaking up, do you think Finn has any type of stroke to speak up and say, Vince, well, what are you doing? Why am I not being utilized? Do you understand who I am as a commodity? Do you think that he has that type of stroke right now, or should he stay silent?
I don't think he has, Chris, because he hasn't drawn Vince money. I mean, that's the bottom line. At the end of the day, you know, bro, you've got to have some stroke in order to speak up with Vince, and that stroke is, did you draw Vince money? And I think Vince can look at a Finn Balor and be like, bro, with all due respect, this guy hasn't drawn me any money. That puts Finn in a tough position. Now, if you earn Vince money and, you know, you're of value to Vince, yeah, bro, then you're going to have a little bit of stroke. I think Ali, bro, just had that same problem. You know, word has that he, you know, kind of disagreed with Vince and spoke up, but at the end of the day, he had no stroke because Vince is looking at this guy like, bro, you haven't drawn me a dime. Yeah. So, you know,
we even gave you an opportunity with retribution, and that fell flat.
Exactly, bro. So, you know, I mean, Paige knows this, bro. You know, you get to a certain level where you're drawing Vince money. Now you can have a conversation. Until you're drawing him money, bro, you're going to kind of be walking on eggshells.
Yeah. One more name before we go to the next segment of if this person would have gotten over an Attitude Era. It's your guy, Vince, Austin Theory. What do you think?
Yes. He definitely has the tools that he would have gotten on there. You know, he's got an arrogance. He's got a cockiness. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He looks great. Absolutely, yeah. During the Attitude Era, he would have been a winner.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think?
Yeah, he's money, you know, and that's why they're pushing him, and they're trying to do something to really have him get to that level. Because getting to that level don't make you the guy. Staying there does. That's the part, you know. And I was lucky enough to be up at, you know, as soon as I dropped the NWO and had my run with Savage, you know, the next 5 years was, you know, it was a hell of a run, man. And it wasn't always right there, but right off of there. That's why I want to stay somewhere around there, you know.
Yep. I've said this many times before on many of my shows. You know, I listened to an Austin podcast from years ago. He said a true main eventer is either having a championship, chasing it, or got detoured in an angle on his way or her way of chasing it. That would make someone a true main eventer. Those three elements, and it makes perfect sense. You know, I mean, either you have it, you're chasing it, or you're in an angle that detours you from chasing it, and you're going to get right back to chasing it. So, and that's it. I mean, that's how you make a main event.
Well, and Steve, if you're going to talk about drawing money, he's the one who really turned that company around. Yep. Like without Steve Austin, that whole thing, like that was like, there's certain things like when everything comes to play, like being in that match, with King of the Ring, with Snake, with Jake, and Jake giving that preacher promo, because back then I used to say there's many different versions of Jake. There's Jake Athlete, there's Jake Junkie, there's Jake God. There's all these different, now there's one. But back then there was a lot of them, and Jake just trying to find his way. But him giving that, that whole John 3:16 thing, and then Michael P.S. Hayes telling Austin right before he comes on, and Steve, it just clicked, man. And that was his time. Because if you look right up before that, Steve they didn't know what to do with him. So Steve had to step up and grab it and run with it. And he said the greatest thing ever, we all know it, Austin 3:16 just kicked your ass. And then when you see 1,000, 3,000 Austin 3:16 signs the next day,
rest in history. Yep. That was one of the most pivotal moments in pro wrestling history, for sure, without a doubt. Let's close it up. Let's get to the low blow. We talked about Mustafa Ali, but there's an extra element to it, though. The fact of the matter is, there's the latest talk is that WWE doesn't want to let go of Mustafa Ali. So he asked for his release, and so they find some value in him. So they're not, as of right now, they're not granting it to him. Vince, why do you think they are not going to grant him this release if the rumors are true?
Bro, you know why, and Paige knows why, but Paige might not say it, but I'll say it. Because they're gonna F with him, bro. If he had a throwdown with Vince McMahon, I'm telling Chris, listen, I'm an honest guy. This is how the business works. If he had a throwdown with Vince and there was any disrespect or anything like that, bro, we're not going to make it easy for you. Yeah. Because the bottom line, bro, is they haven't used them. They're not using them. Obviously, if they saw something in him, they would be using him. So why wouldn't they let him go? You think Vince McMahon really cares if he goes to AEW? Absolutely not. But again, bro, you keep hearing about a heated exchange. Bro, you don't have a heated exchange with Vince McMahon without consequences. So I think these are part of the consequences. Paige, do you disagree with me or agree with me?
I'm just saying this on that.
Go ahead, Paige.
Think about it. I look at, and I got to put over my boy. For your last night, one of the top promos of the year was done by Cody Rhodes. Mm-hmm. And they let him go. And you got to know, walking away from all that money, and he never said it, but I got to figure it was about $500,000 a year. Like walking away because Cody saw himself as a top guy. The cat can talk with anybody. He'd have got over in the Attitude Era. No question. If given the opportunity that he made. And he made that by asking for his release, and they granted it. And then he went off on this journey, and it was Kevin Owens, from what I understand, had made a call to the Bucks, because Cody didn't really know him all that well yet. And those guys have loved him, pulled him in, and Kenny Omega and the four of them, we know what happened with All In. There's no All In without Cody Rhodes' confidence that himself, the Bucks, and Kenny Omega could, maybe damn draw 10,000 people. We know the story. Meltzer, getting a little full of himself there. maybe 4,000. That makes sense. And Cody going back, I'll take that bet, Dave. And we know what happened. They sold the place out in 30 minutes. The bottom line is, the reason why that happened, and in Cody's promo, when I was watching it, I was popping because Punk talked about all that. You know, he talked about all that. And it kind of like laid out like what it would look like. But it was Cody who did it. So when the fan, and we know how passionate the fans are at AEW, they are seriously passionate. And when he started working with Malachi and whatever he was doing and, you know, starting to shift and people wanting him to turn heel and him being true to himself, like who he is, the confidence that he knows because he puts the work in, but not just for him, for Britt Baker and for MJF. Like they're not probably in that spot without him helping them and pushing them. That's not just about Cody Rhodes. It's like his dad, Dusty Rhodes. He helped everybody. Did he help himself? Hell yeah, because he had more personality in his pinky than 90% of the boys did. So bottom line is, yeah, he's going to push himself too because he's got a draw and he knows he's going to be there every day, putting his work in. And Cody went out there and cut that promo. And in the beginning, when he walked out, you heard him. I know you heard him booing him when he came out there. It was kind of loud. And then he went into that promo, and by the end of it,
they were cheering,
clapping and cheering. And it's like, yeah, you're right. You were that guy who did that.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, Paige, as I've said this before, I don't get the Cody hate, and I'll continue to say it. I think people just like to put themselves over. As fans, they don't know who, he's the resident boo guy. You know, Roman Reigns was the resident boo guy for a while, and now it's Cody.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, what's not stupid is a comment that I just saw as we close up with these socials here, with these social plugs. I saw a comment that said Vince Russo was the very best WCW champion.
Oh,
how about that?
Yeah, I mean, you could debate that, but I'd say top three.
Top three? Okay,
yeah,
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Hey,
let them know where to find you, my man.
Oh, my God. On every Tuesday, just dropping DDP Snake Pit, or just catch this over at our Positively Unstoppable Challenge going on right now. You could be the guy who gets $250,000. Go to positivelyunstoppable.com, sign up, check it out. That's all I got to say.
Nice. Positivelyunstoppable.com. You could win $250,000. Vince Russo, hey, man, former WCW champion. One commenter thinks that you're the very best. You think you may be top three. I'll stay silent with my ranking. Well, let us know what we got, Vince. Let us know where to find you.
Yeah, everything is just go to russosbrand.com, bro. I've got so many podcasts with so many great talents, bro. Every single day there's something going on. Just go to russosbrand.com.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion Diamond Dallas Page, current WWE Hall of Famer, and former WCW World Heavyweight Champion Vince Russo. How about that? Surrounded
wait a minute.
with gold.
Hold on for a second. Paige, why do you laugh every time he says that? How dare you? How dare you, Paige? How dare you?
On that note, I love you, Vince Russo. I love you, Chris. See ya.
Take care, man.
Hey.